Right, good morning. You recognise this face from last Friday, I'm sure. This is what we made last week. We made a knitted face wipe. Now what I do with these, just use my micellar water or my toner and my face wipe, and then just toss them in the wash. And I find that the makeup comes out really well, especially if it's like face makeup from doing shows and stuff, like theatrical makeup. Today what we're doing is a crocheted version. Now my crocheted version is kind of cute. It's a circle, it's got scallops, it's pretty, it's all the things. I like the scallops because I feel like you can get into the corners, because my face is old enough that I have corners. Right, you can make this out of any size cotton you like, and I would just say match your hook size to your cotton. This one here is a 4mm hook. She says questioning. I think yes. 4mm hook and a just a regular standard weight cotton. When I made them with the Lily Sugar and Cream yarn, size up to like a 5 or a 5.5mm hook, and they will come out larger and a little bit more coastery, but I prefer this softer cotton because they get squishier, and I find they do the job well. So here, without further ado, here is our crochet pattern for making these reusable face wipes. Right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to create a magic circle, and we're going to do 8 single crochet into the center of our magic circle, or our magic ring, whatever you want to call it. I'm currently here using a 4mm crochet hook, and this is just a regular cotton yarn. This one I got from Lincraft, and I like the finished product with this yarn, but I don't like working with this yarn. So you are going to see at some point I'm going to switch over from this hook here to a different one. So this one's got a very rounded head on it, and the next one's got a sort of more pointy head on it. So, you know, feel free to change your crochet hooks around. I do. So anyway, close your circle. Later on we're going to be slip stitching to close the circles, but we really don't need to for the first row. Right, so now on row 2, we're just going to increase all the way around. This is the part where I am going to struggle with this particular hook. This one here is generic. I don't think it's my Clover Amore. No, I think it's just a generic one. But it's just like, it's got this round head on it, and this yarn, while I love it, it is a struggle street, particularly when you don't have many stitches. Always struggle in the magic circle section. So here we go. We're going to swap out this hook for this one here. This is the Prim ergonomic hook. What I like about this one is it's got a grippy handle, which has helped with my thumb injury, because I pulled all the tendons in my thumb gardening way back in September last year. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're doing the weeding, just remember you can do yourself a lot of damage, so I would recommend don't weed. Yeah, okay, I've got weeding to do in the garden later on today. Anyway, we're just going to continue increasing all the way around in our circle, and we're going to get 16 stitches in our round. And things will start to become far more easy. I have a degree in English. I should be able to words. I can't words. Anyway, it's going to be a lot easier when we get to the end. Why did I think that it was going to be fine to just do the whole of this first round, watching me struggle street in a small space with hand? You know what? Just enjoy the fact that I'm not one of those crocheters who looks classy while doing their art. I will always look like I'm struggling. Just constantly. So we're just going to carry on with our increases all the way around. You'll notice at the end of this round I will do a sneaky count, because am I using a stitch marker? No, I am not. Is this throwing caution to the wind? Yes, it is. You know, because as we all know when we crochet, we can't count. I can't words and I can't count, so, you know, that says a lot about me as a person. Anyway, we're going to get to the end of this row. We're going to just count up all of our stitches to make sure we've got the right number. We're going to restart counting our stitches several times just to make sure. And then we're going to get ready to do our next row. So row 3, we're going to start by chaining 1. We're going to chain one because our next row is all double crochets. So we're going to double crochet one, or not, half double crochet, sorry, and then we're going to half double crochet increase in the next stitch. Alright, so these are slightly taller stitches than our last ones, but not massively tall. Yes. Now, you see, this yarn here recommended a 4mm crochet hook. To be honest, it's about right, but in order to make these and make them sit nice and flat, you may want to size up your hook if you're using the Lily Sugar and Cream yarn anyway, because the Lily Sugar and Cream yarn is quite fat, and you do want these to sort of move around quite a bit. I do make them out of leftover yarn scraps from any cotton yarn that I've used. I've made a whole stack of them out of Hobie summer sock yarn scraps, which is just fantastic. It's really soft and pliable. It's nice. It is a nice yarn. Right, here we go. So now just finish off this row here with your half double crochet and your half double crochet increase. And then we're going to do row 4. Row 4, we're going to start by chaining 2. There we go. There's 1. And there's 2. Nice, 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 nice. And now we're going to just do 2 double crochets. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet increase. So there's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and now we're going to do 2 double crochets into this next stitch here as an increase. So there we go. Double crochet. It's one of those ones that when you do a lot of amigurumi, you get used to doing the single crochets and you live that single crochet life, and then you go back to doing a half double crochet and a granny square and you're like, oh, this is kind of relaxing. You know, this is great. I love a half double crochet. I love a double crochet. And what I don't like is a treble crochet. Now, a treble crochet with the 3 little loops, I find they're so floppy. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with this pattern. Anyway, finishing off this circle here. Now, slip stitch to close. That's optional. You don't have to. I have, because otherwise I find they lose shape. But you do you, boo. So we're going to do now a whole row. Oh, coughing. Sorry. Would you think I'd re-record this? I probably should. I won't. I'm chaotic. We're just doing a row of single crochet and then an increase after every third. So 3 single crochet followed by an increase. That's going to take our stitch count up to 40 stitches all the way around. So it should be sitting nice and flat. Now these can double as a coaster if you wanted to make them out of the Lily Sugar and Cream especially. Makes a nice coaster. But yeah, I just use these as face wipes because, you know, I don't use face wipes often enough to justify having the entire packet of face wipes. I only do use face wipes when I'm doing a show because that's really the only time I wear makeup. I'm just not interested in wearing makeup unless I'm trying to make myself look completely different. Anyway, so we'll do this row here, which will take us up to 40 stitches. Now row 6, this is our last row. We're going to slip stitch to close our row. Then what we're going to do is we're going to skip a stitch and we're going to do 5 double crochets into that second stitch. Alright, now this is going to create our little scallops on the edge. So there's our first double crochet, there's our second double crochet, there's our third double crochet. I was going to say, look, I'm on the flow of it. I'm doing great. I'm just powering along here. I'm not really powering along here. I'm rarely powering along anyway. Right, so once we've got our 5 double crochets in that one there, we're going to skip another stitch and we're going to slip stitch into this next one. So just pull straight through. Nice. Now we're going to do the same again. So we're going to skip the next stitch and then we're going to put 5 double crochets into the following one, just like that. Nice. Nice. 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5. And then we're going to skip a stitch and then we're going to slip stitch into the next one, and that's going to anchor that scallop down. Doesn't that look cute? So we're going to finish off this round with our scallops. Now, if you have been following along, this is the middle of what I'm calling spring cleaning month, or spring cleaning week in my head, even though the videos have been going on a little bit longer. We've so far had a review of dishcloth dresses by Debbie Trainer. Love her. Honestly, what a soul sister. And now we've got the knitted face wipes last Friday, and today we've got the crocheted face wipes. We've got a few more videos coming in this ridiculous series that nobody asked for, but deep down, I felt like doing it. Um, and that's why I have a YouTube channel, really, is so that I can do what I feel like doing. I am working on about 1,000 other projects at the moment, but they all had to go on hold because I really just wanted to do this. Right, slip stitch your worked clothes, cut off your yarn, cut off your yarn, pull it through, and then you're just going to darn in your ends. We love darning in ends, right? Yeah, we're just going to use this little needle here. I have a short, blunt darning needle that I use for socks, and it works really well on these as well. So once you've darned in your ends and you've made multiple ones, see this yarn here changes colour along the way, which is kind of pretty, you end up with a stack of these. So if you want the knit pattern, that's from last week. If you want the crochet pattern, that's this week. I'll link them both down below, and the free written patterns are down there as well. Enjoy! See you next week.